Hello there. This is Jesus and Tiffany. I hope you're having a good day. Mine's going slow. At least this morning is. What I want to talk to you about Donald Trump. When he lost the last election, I thought he was being a real baby. That's what I thought. Talked about the Democrats cheated. And I wasn't sure if they could or did. But then the other day I met two people who kind of really showed me that the Democrats did cheat. They've got, it's like they have TV stations backing them, the ones that report stuff. This one guy said he was 11:30 p.m. and he's watching the results come in, and he seen that during this one part, Trump lost 50,000 votes and Biden gained 50,000 votes. He says, I've watched the voting for many years, He's as old as I am, maybe older. He said, at no time does somebody lose votes in an election. And then I also had another person. They were in Massachusetts at the time. They went to go vote. All the windows had paper on them, so you couldn't see in. And they went to fill out their ballots, and they were told you can't use pen, you can only use pencil. And she thought that sounded awful suspicious. Why can't you? Everybody else uses pens to make sure they get marked real good. And they wanted them to have pencils. That does make you feel something's wrong here. And maybe Trump was really right that the Democrats did cheat. Because that really doesn't seem right. And then the next thing I want to go to. I went and got this book called Redefining Realness by Janet Mock. And she's telling her story. And I look at her. The way she was. She really knew who she was. She knew she was a girl. When everybody else was saying she was a boy. But she also had drive to her. She did really good in school. And she got her parents to see she needed hormones. Anyway, her mother did. And she got on hormones at around 14. And sometimes her mom, money was tight, didn't have enough money. It was like $20 for twice a month. And she didn't quite have the money for all the time. So Janet did things to make sure she had the money to, when her mom didn't have the money, she had the money. And when she was in high school, she had gotten to become the class treasurer. And she had started her hormones through the summer. And so she came back to school not looking like the person everybody voted for. But she came back as Janet. And she introduced herself as Janet. Everybody's wondering where this other person was, but that was Janet. And she continued to do real well in school, and she got to her senior year, and they had this academic scholarship to go to the University of Hawaii, full coverage. And she went and tried for this, and I'm not sure what it was, all the written stuff. But the last part of it was going before a group of people, and they had them having to ask her questions. And she said there's this one gal that was in her class. She was new. She was Asian. She said she was cute. And she thought, she's going to get it because she's cute. Because Janet is half black and half white. She was dark. She had kinky hair. And she just thought she wasn't going to get it because the way she looked. And she went in there to be questioned. She thought, a panel of 6, right? No, she had said there were about 20 people there. But at the last question, this person, commented that, they transitioned in school and they probably went through a whole lot of difficulties. And they wanted her to tell them, a little bit of her story of coming out at school and what it took. And she ended up winning the scholarship. And she was able to go to University of Hawaii. And she eventually, in that time, she was able to get the money up to get her bottom surgery. She went to Thailand, and she got her bottom surgery. But she had this drive to her to do better. Not just, okay, I did my transition. For me, I don't have bottom surgery. I never had any surgery. All I have is my hormones and my facial hair removal. And, but she wanted to really bring out her woman, and she did that. But she got her bottom surgery, and then she was able to go to New York, and she continued to improve her education, but she also became the editor of People magazine. And then she also got into other things. I believe she was one of the actresses on the series Pose, too. She had drive to improve herself. And, I'm getting up there. I don't have much time. And, but the stuff I'm doing, the things I'm doing, is really what I see needs to be done. No one else. I am starting a support group here in this town, and this is like 80 miles from Saginaw, which is where I The Saginaw Bay area is where I was going for my meetings, which was in Bay City at that time. I'm now going to PFLAG in Saginaw. But, we got to, in this area, there's nothing. In fact, there's probably no church that really will see us as men and women. They will always see us as they're looking between our legs and saying that's who you are, and not seeing the person that's inside of us. And that's sort of disturbing. But I'm trying to start a group here. Last month they had 3 people. So I figured, well, that's a big improvement anyway. It's improvement over none the month before that. But I had people there. And the next thing I want to talk about is I was at the library because I don't have internet. I gotta go to the library to have internet. And I was checking out my YouTube site, but I got onto, there's this one thing where Janet Mock was being asked about supporting Catelyn for some reason or other. I don't know. Somebody made a comment or whatever to Catelyn Jenner. I didn't really investigate. Sorry about that. But I was into other things, but I seen it. And Janet wouldn't support Catelyn, or try to, to defend her, I guess would be the main word. But as I see it, Catelyn's rich. She got her surgeries. She's got a house. I think she picked a bad choice because it's like she didn't like the paparazzi, but she's like up there on the top of this hill, and the paparazzi are going to look for that. You're really opening yourself up. But getting back to Caitlyn Jenner, even though she's rich and she had advantages that I didn't, I still would support her because I wish someone would have supported me, been there, stand up for me. There was people who would, but like if I went to church, there's hardly anybody who would stand up. Well, some of the other churches, there weren't nothing. No one's standing up for me. I was still being seen as who I once was. And that's bad, especially when you I lived in this county for over 30 years, so they knew me before transition. And it was hard. But, I want to stand up for those who don't have anybody to stand up for them. To show care. They're probably going through the same things I did. They're getting there's people are beating down on them and judging them and not really seeing them. And, that can hurt. I've felt the hurt. It's not fun. But, to say, okay, I want to defend you, you are who you say you are. You're a woman. Yeah, you may be rich, but there are other people out there that say the same thing too, to encourage them in their coming out. And then I want to go into talk about, when we transition, we get to a certain point sometimes that some people go into hiding because they're afraid or don't like the reactions they get. I don't know. But they don't go out and live. And when I transitioned, I started going out just like I am. I'm a woman. I'm going out. I had to dress like, till I was fully out, I didn't do that. But once I came out of my church, that was bad. My family, that was bad. Work, that went pretty good. I would have liked to have had something else different, but there were some people who would not call me she or her or Tiffany, and that was upsetting. But most part, it went good. I just wonder how much was being said behind my back. That's what I wonder. But I came out and I wore my dresses, wore my heels. I went to the hardware. I went to the lumberyard. I went shopping around this town. I bought my gas that way. I went to a restaurant. I did not try to hide. And I lived my life. I got to interact with people and to expose them to what a trans person is. That we aren't this, especially trans women, we aren't this person who has to be feared in the bathroom. They don't have to fear us as we go around town. You're not going to catch transitis or whatever. You're born this way. And that's great. And it's, plus, I would encourage you to come out because people need to know us as LGBTQ plus community and see us not as weird, perverse, or queer, whatever, but see us as people contributing to society, contributing to our towns. And they need to see that. And when they start making bills and stuff against us, people will know that they know somebody. That's the same thing that Harvey Milk did when he tried to get the gay rights bill passed in San Francisco. He told everybody to just come out to their friends, their family, their coworkers, so that they knew somebody that was gay, and we needed to show them that they do know somebody who's in the LGBTQ community, and that we aren't this person to be afraid of, but we're a person who interacts just like any other person. Use the bathroom like anybody else. And we get hungry, we go out and shop. Go to the mall or we don't have a mall. Saginaw does, but here you ain't got no mall. We go to the restaurant, and when it's open, they seem to be trying to stay open during the busy hours. But the pizza shop is open. Yeah. And the pink elephant in front of the pizza, Mile Pizza, is known in different parts of the nation because people want to get their picture with the elephant. And it is cute. But we need to get out and show ourselves. And that show that, God did not just make a male and female like cis people see. And as I've been in our community, I see more of a spectrum. I know some people who are non-binary, and that's where they are. I don't get it, but I'm going to support them. Because they're going to have a hard time just like I do. But God's diverse. God, He's creative. He didn't just make the male and female. And as I read Genesis starts, the Spirit of the Lord hovered over the earth. And in the Gospels, Jesus is saying God is a spirit. So when God made man, He didn't make man in the body. The body is how we get around, how we live this life. In here, that's where we're male and female. We're the spectrum of it. The awesomeness of who we are. And so, God is not bound in a box. If you're limiting your look at the creativity of God, your God is like this big. And He fits in a little box. But my God, He is bigger than the universe. And I cannot fit Him in a box. I can't even comprehend the whole of who God is. But He made me. He made me this way on purpose. I'm not a mistake. And neither will you be. God made you for a purpose. And when I asked Him what that purpose was, He said, so people will learn to love me like He loves me. And that's what everybody out there, I guess you'd say, God made all them. for us to learn to love them, because some of them have lives that make us uncomfortable. But we still got to live with these people. And so why hate them? Love them, support them, lift them up, encourage them. But that's about all I have to say for today. I'm sorry I am late. But I'm going to get this posted after I grocery shop, so it'll be tomorrow. And you have a good day. And I'm going to pray for you. Father, Lord, for anyone who watches this video, Father, let them know the great, immense love that you have for them. Let them know the value that you place on them. And let them see that they can come to you anytime. They don't have to try to be good enough. You take us just as we are, love us, and work with us. So, Father, bless these people. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Well,